sweet, smiling, as though nothing had happened. I wanted to ask if Hawk was okay. I wanted to beg him to let me see him, but I didn't want to talk to Alan directly, because I was disgusted. I couldn't believe someone who was supposed to keep them together and safe would allow this. Alan ran one hand through his curly dark hair, strolled to the bar, and poured some copper-colored liquor into a glass. "Drink?" he asked me. All I could do was glare at him, inhaling and exhaling to calm myself. I had no words for him. None. "He's okay," he said, shrugging, as if everything was fine. I still hated him, but the relief that came over me was overpowering. I cowered into myself, dropping my head into my hands. My whole body visibly trembled with relief. I'd had an inkling that Hawk was okay, but now that I was sure, all my emotions poured out in tears for Alan and Tilton to witness. The situation reminded me of my mother. The memories of her, and the pain I'd felt, burned brightly in my brain. I was reliving the past, only this time my loved one was okay. He was alive. "Sam." I shook my head. I didn't want to hear it. I didn't want to know what Alan had to say. "You're going home, Sam." I lifted my head and sucked in a breath when Alan threw a stack of hundreds onto the bed. It was held together by a single rubber band. "Just don't make contact, don't talk to the press, and we're good." He gulped back his drink, his eyes studying me. I blinked a couple of times before finding the ability to speak. "Are you paying me off?" I hiccuped. "For what?" "To keep your mouth shut and leave him alone." He turned away from me and poured some powdered substance into his glass. What is wrong with the people here? How could they throw people away like trash when it didn't suit them anymore? Their money and power had no limits. The drugs, the partying, the lies. I guessed he would allow the band to live this sort of lifestyle as long as their talents fed his pockets. "Sam, Sam, Sam," he said, his tone low and condescending. "Do you think this is the first time I've been down this road with Hawk?" His words confirmed my doubts, and I bit my tongue to prevent any emotions from showing on my face. If he was bluffing, I wanted to keep my best poker face on. "He's like this every weekend." He let out a cynical laugh that had invisible spiders biting every inch of my skin with venom so strong it kept me from moving. "Except when you're around," he muttered under his breath. "You're lying." My voice was steady, my eyes firmly on his, assessing his reaction. He shook his head and tipped his chin toward Tilton behind me. "These chicks, they always think they're special, don't they? One of a kind, that our boys will change their ways for them. If you think you're the only one, honey, I hate to break it to you." He let out a bitter laugh. "But you're not." He tipped back his drink, finished it off, and then met my stare. "But there is something about you. Yes, I'll admit that. Hawk has never been as hung up on anyone as he's been with you, but still, it hasn't stopped him from screwing anything with 2 legs and big tits." I stood, my fists clenched at my sides, all self-control gone. "You're a liar," I shouted. "You're probably their dealer, aren't you? If they're so high on whatever you gave them, then they'll do as you say." He chuckled darkly. "You'd like to believe that, wouldn't you? That I'm their master and they're my puppets. So that when he's inside another woman, it's my fault, not his. Dumb girls." He nodded at Tilton. "Get her out of here. First flight back to wherever she's from." Then he stalked out of the room, leaving me an emotional, manic mess. My hands shook, and all I felt was numbness from the tips of my fingers to the middle of my chest. My breathing came in big, broken puffs. I needed a bag to hyperventilate into. Alan was lying. He had to be. "Miss Clark?" When I glanced at Tilton, he held the door open, waiting.